Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. My name is Kristen. Today's video is all about the February 22nd I Am Unity portal and gateway into fifth dimensional consciousness. And I am filming this video on February 22nd. I had meant to film it before this, but with just timing and everything, the way it worked out, I'm filming it actually on the 22nd. And in the morning at 11:11, as I was getting ready to film this video, I had a moment. I had, out of nowhere, so much resistance come build up in my chest, and it started with some weird thoughts that I had in my mind. And this is exactly what we're talking about in this portal today. So it's actually, I just have to laugh that this actually happened as I was getting ready to film this video, because this portal is all about releasing resistance and being in I am unity within ourselves, and specifically with our mind and our body. Because what is going on in our mind is directly reflected in our physicality. So as I was getting ready to film this video, I had a moment of like an identity crisis where I felt very unworthy and that unlovable energy came back, and I specifically felt it for like masculine energy. Like I felt so much energy of less than, and these thoughts that I had in my mind immediately gathered in my chest cavity and over my shoulders. And I told my friend the other day that I didn't feel like I recognized myself anymore. Partly because I have lost so much weight, and it's really changed my body, and it's been a healing journey to like catch up with the new way that I look. And when most people lose weight, I think there is that period of adjustment to get to know what your new body looks like and feels like. And the other part of the identity crisis that I feel like I'm having, that I like look in the mirror and literally don't recognize myself, is because I've done so much work on myself, and especially in the last year, more work than I've ever done on myself, to the core of who I am in the last year, that I'm still in that recalibration. I'm still in the process of my mind and my body coming into a higher level of consciousness. And what this portal is today is about allowing us to get in the harmonics of our truth in our mind and in our body. Now, for some, this unity portal will be physical. For some on the twin flame journey, this will be a rekindling of your twin flame relationship, a new level of your twin flame relationship. You might meet your twin flame around this portal. But what is most important of this portal, it is providing us a healing platform that is a whole cycle of energy that just goes, I can't really even see where it ends. It just opens up today, and then we can just follow it for where it takes us. So the light codes that are starting to stream in today are going to help us to release the things that I was just talking about in our mind. The beliefs of lack, the beliefs that prevent us from inviting all of the things that we truly want into our life. The beliefs that prevent us from inviting more love, more money, more happiness, more joy, more fulfillment, more peace, more freedom. And I instantly experienced how resistance takes us right out of this miracle zone. So when we are in the harmonics of our mind and our body, when we are in the truth of our mind, understanding and knowing and having awareness of our co-creative dance with the universe, having that awareness of the truth of who we are, that resonates so deep in the body that it activates every healing, it activates intuition, it activates miracle zone energy instantaneously because we have found a place of harmonic resonance. And this energy shift is so loving, is so compassionate. It sees you and what you need for your growth. It just sees it perfectly. And it's going to bring you the light codes that allow you to heal a chronic illness, that allow you to move out of anxiety, depression, and to release resistance to your life. So when those thoughts came up about feeling less than, unbeautiful, I felt all of these unworthiness things just literally just come right up to the surface. What I didn't do was judge them. Now, they felt very uncomfortable. They feel very heavy even when I talk about them now. But when we get in judgment, we engage the resistance even more. And so then the resistance just starts to grow. And then the beliefs that we're feeling about lack, or the things that we're thinking we can't accomplish, do, or be, they grow when we're in judgment of them. It's just like food for that energy. But in this 5D energy, in this alignment, in this portal, finding peace wherever you are, even if it is in the most uncomfortable place, to know that it is your divine will that you are experiencing this uncomfortableness in this moment, and that it is possible to get back into peace in a matter of seconds. But you've got to breathe and allow it to move through. You've got to allow yourself in your mind to go, oh, well, isn't this interesting that I'm thinking this? This is very old programming, isn't it? Well, does this resonate with the truth of who I am right now? Does this resonate with me and what I feel inside myself, my divine self, my awakened self? Oh, well, no, not so much. It actually doesn't resonate at all. So that is how we can start to let it move off. And you don't have to like your circumstances right now, but when you just allow, it creates the opening for the circumstances to change. So in this energy shift, like I said, so much healing is possible. So whatever part of your life you are looking to heal, whatever part of your life that you would like to invite more miracles in, this is a place where there is a perceptual awareness, consciousness shift happening, that the areas that are brought up that are creating tension, uncomfortability, or showing as lack, this is where the most resistance is residing. This is where the deeper embedded beliefs are and gunk muckety muck is. But the cool thing about the energy that we're in now, the fact that it moves so fast, is that by 11:15, I was going to say 11:13, but it was more like 11:15, I was okay. Now, I'm still, like I said, processing through it, but just allowing myself to feel what I'm feeling in this moment, not being in judgment of it, actually just feeling what my life is right now without being in judgment of it, but just allowing myself to go into this place of deep knowing that everything is okay. Even if circumstances are not what we want them to be, we can find the harmonic resonance in this moment of allowing everything to be okay. To be in unity within ourselves, even if complete meltdown is happening around you. Okay? So, moving forward in this energy, what we can do to access this upgrade is to be in non-judgment of resistance, to breathe through it, to allow it to move off, to allow it to give us some space so we can get some clarity on it. And then honoring our intuition in this energy is crucial. But when you're in mind and body alignment, your heart knowing and your gut knowing instantly kicks in. So it's super important not to second guess your intuitive hits in 2019, because this is how the miracle zone, this is where the next levels of miracles showing up in your life in the forms of your twin flame union, a new job, more money, feeling greater freedom in your life, experiencing that freedom, traveling, healing a chronic illness. Your intuition plays such a huge part in creating that healing in that miracle zone. Because when you're blocked up in resistance, you're scrambling. So I found myself in this, I think it was last week. I was on the phone with a friend and I was working on healing an aspect of myself and I was sort of stuck with it. And when I'm working with a client, I can so easily see the energy and where it's stuck and where we can invite some love in for that energy to move. But when it's yourself, it is often harder. It is harder, not often. It is harder to read the energy. The best way I can describe it is I've got to step out of myself and look at myself. Like you imagine you're a bottle and you have to step out of yourself to look back at that bottle, to read the directions, to read the ingredients, to read what the bottle does, is, or what's even going on there. And the answer that came to me when I was scrambling for some type of answer or knowing or scrambling for some sort of healing resolution was stillness. Because in that moment, I was in resistance because I was thinking there was something wrong with me. And so stillness is another way of accessing your intuition. And in Western society in 2019, stillness is such a precious commodity because with our phone, our computer, our laptop, even someone knocking at the door. When I was starting to film this video, literally right before I hit record, someone knocked at the door. So things are always going on around us that if we allow it can mess up our flow. And in this Unity portal, we are being given the upgrades and knowing, awareness, and perception of how to live in that sweet spot of our intuitive zone, our miracle zone, which is internal alignment. And as long as we are being swept up by external things, being thrown off by external things, and even that energy that was coming up inside me, if I had taken it really personally, it would have taken me right down. I would have had a panic attack. Yeah. Or some type of emotional meltdown. So stillness allows for the release of resistance. And as long as there is aspects of resistance, we won't see the miracle zone present in those areas. But getting into the miracle zone is so much easier than we think. How do you get in the miracle zone? And how do you know if you are in the miracle zone? When you're feeling magical, when you're feeling in alignment, what shows up for you when you're in those energies? And when you're feeling resistant and anxious, what shows up for you then? So these are just things that we can think about and allow our consciousness to find the resonance of. And I would love to hear your experience below with the 222 portal. The 222 portal is a magical portal of self-love. And it's a magical portal of inviting more love and all of its friends, abundance, prosperity, happiness, and joy, This portal is about inviting those things into our experience. And knowing that they will come even if they haven't shown up yet. So I'm sending you so much love. And if you want to make an appointment with me for an hour coaching session, the information is below. Namaste, everybody. Bye-bye.